What up? It's K.Honesty, and I'm about to do a review of Power Book 2, Season 4, Episode 7. So if you haven't seen Episode 7 of Season 4 of Power Book 2, Ghosts, turn this video off and go watch the episode. And please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I know I say it every time, but liking and subscribing helps my channel. It helps support my channel. It's an easy and free way to do it. Don't take no money out your pockets. It takes less than 5 seconds to do. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Can't stress that enough. I'm not a public speaker. I will tend to fumble my words, say so, like 1,000 times. I may stop to regain my thoughts. I may slow my speaking down to regain my thoughts. Definitely going to be looking at my notes that I take throughout the show. Anything I say, it's my opinion. It does not reflect anyone or anything associated with the show. Comment below what you thought of this week's episode and what you would grade this week's episode. If I forget to talk about something that you thought I should have talked about, if I was off on something, let me know in the comments. And, yeah, I like to grade the episodes before and after my reviews. This episode, I will say I wasn't expecting Officer Felicia to meet her demise so quickly, but I mean, I'm happy about it, but I was surprised. I mean, but this episode didn't really wake it up for me like episode 6 did. The mid-season premiere was way better than this episode. And we only got 3 more episodes? Yeah, we only got 3 more episodes, or 2 more, something like that. I don't know. I think they're giving us 10 episodes. I can't remember. We either got 3 or 2 more episodes. And for this episode to be not as, I don't feel like it was as good. It was okay. I'm going to put it in between a B- and a C+. It wasn't that great. It was still good. It was still good. It just wasn't as good as the last week's episode. So I'm going to put it in between a B- and a C+. We'll see if I change the grade by the end of this review. We shall see. But for now, that's where I'm gonna leave it at. Yeah, Power Book 2, Ghost, Season 4, Episode 7. If you haven't seen it, last chance to turn this video off because I'm about to spoil the entire episode. So, this episode begins with Diana waking up in the hospital. Tariq sitting over her. You know, he gives her the bad news about the baby. Diana gets upset and begins to blame Tariq. And I'm just like, bitch, what you blaming him for? Like, he the last person you should be blaming. He ain't the reason that y'all caught up in the fucking Carter situation. Your mother, you should be blaming your mother before anybody. Like, this your mother's doing. Like, she the one got y'all caught up with Carter's task force, not Tariq. I was like, how you blaming this nigga? He was doing everything he can. He just went and took a body for your ass, and you got the nerve to be blaming him. I just couldn't believe it. I never always liked Diana fully. I never fully liked her character. Because I always said, first of all, she can't act for shit. And second, now you pissing me off because you blaming motherfuckers that ain't have shit to do with the reason that you lost your baby. I get it. You lost your baby, and it's upsetting. I mean, I don't know what I would do if I lost my baby. But I'm just saying, like, you blaming the wrong motherfuckers. I know you looking for somebody to blame, but it's not Tariq's fault. So she's sitting up there blaming Tariq, getting mad at him. She tells him to leave. And as Tariq's leaving, he runs into Monet. He gives her the bad news about the baby. And, you know, Tariq's like, don't worry about it. I'm going to handle it. And Monet's like, nah, this is family business. And I'm like, bitch, family business? It's like, it was his baby. So then Tariq's like, well, with all due respect, like, I don't work for you. And that was my baby. So I'm going to handle it, like I said. And he storms out. Monet goes into Diana, and she's like, who did this to you? And Diana's like, that bitch Felicia. And Kane busts in, who the fuck is Felicia? So Monet's like, ain't you supposed to be doing some work or something for Noma? And Kane's like, all right, well, Diana, let me know when Monet fucked this up. And then he leaves. So Tariq calls Davis, you know, trying to get the addresses of Carter's task force members. And Davis is like, well, what's going on? Why you want addresses of cops? And Tariq tells Davis about Diana. I'm not sure if Davis knew that Diana was carrying Tariq's baby. But, I mean, he knows of Diana and Tariq's relationship or whatever the case may be. So, he knows that Tariq is livid about what happened to Diana. So, Tariq tells Davis about Diana. Davis tells Tariq, like, before you do anything, sit tight. Let me go bust a couple moves right quick. I'm going to hit you back. And Tariq's like, man, hurry the fuck up. Basically, like, he ain't trying to hit none of that shit. So we get Rashad Tate back. We get Lorenz Tate back in this episode. Rashad Tate, Congressman Tate, whatever you want to call him. So he's there. He's standing in the morgue over his dead brother's body. as Carter watches behind the glass, and, you know, he goes to Carter. He's like, who the fuck did this shit? You know, he's livid. Carter tries to play the legalities of it all at first, and Rashad's like, fuck all that, man. Who the fuck did this to my brother? So Carter, you know, of course lies. He's like, we bust these Russians the other day. They must have came back for retaliation. So Rashad's like, well, you need to find out who the fuck did this, or I'm going to the press. And Carter's like, my team's working around the clock. We're going to figure out who did it. And Rashad, you know, he's offering up any resources that he can give. So we get this meeting with Davis and Noma, and Davis is telling Noma that, you know, it's going to be hard for me to find a new congressman to bribe to sign this contract, especially with the fact that you, Noma, don't have no U.S. citizenship. And he's telling her, you know, a quicker way to make things happen would be for you to sign over a majority of your company to a U.S. citizen. And, you know, he's somewhat implying that he should be the person she signs it over to, at the same time flirting with her. And Noma, like I said, Noma's just becoming this sweet bitch. Like, I'm not seeing scary Noma. Like, she's supposed to be this person that everybody fears, and I'm not seeing her do anything since she killed Obi. She just not being believable for me. Like, a real villain is like, I would have to say, like, Duda from The Shy, that was a real motherfucking villain. That was a slick motherfucker that will still slice your shit up. Like, motherfuckers ain't coming like Duda coming. Like, and I don't like it. But anyway, I just crossed over. But anyway, so Tariq, he comes to the dorm, and Braden's like, did I fuck up last night? Because, you know, he went on stage all high up and shit. Tariq's coming there. He ain't hearing none of that shit. He grabbing his gun. He's telling Braden about what happened with Diana. Next thing you know, Stokely, who's played by Young Blue, he comes in and he's telling Braden and Tariq, y'all fired. Like, y'all don't think we know that y'all using us to sell y'all drugs. He's like, y'all lucky I don't get y'all expelled. We don't know if we got fiends or fans. He's just saying a whole bunch of shit. And Tariq's like, that's not up to y'all. Y'all gonna keep doing the shit. And Stokely's like, nigga. And Tariq grabs Stokely up, and Braden has to come and defuse. And Stokely's like, fuck y'all. And he leaves out. And then Braden's like, and Tariq, you know, he starts getting on Braden. He's like, if you wouldn't have got on stage all high last night on that dumb shit, nothing of this would be happening. And Braden's like, look, I know I fucked up. He's like, but you need to chill and think things through before going to kill a cop. You need to go talk to somebody. So Carter, he checks in with his task force with Felicia and Nico about any leads on Kamal's killer. Like, why would they have any leads, nigga? You did it. But anyway. So, Felicia, you know, she don't really give a fuck. She's like, well, the Russians did us a favor. Kamal was too clean cut anyway. And Nico, he's like, you know, even though this nigga was clean cut, he still was a cop. He still was one of us. We should investigate, or whatever the case may be. And Carter agrees, and Felicia and Nico start speculating all these different scenarios. Like, well, if it was the Russians, they're gonna be coming after us. But how would they build a team so quick to take out Kamal? And maybe it was somebody that actually wanted to take out Rashad. They just start speculating all this other shit. Carter is all in his head because he know he fucking did it. And he's like, look, man, we need to just go get the Russians before they get to us. We need to smoke them out. And then he tells them, you know, Rashad's threatening to go to the press, and we don't need that, because that's just going to bring IAB closer to taking us down. So Carter goes in his office. Nico goes behind him, tells him about the whole Roman situation and Drew's proposal of it all. Like, I'll take out Roman. You leave my sister and mother alone. Make me lieutenant. So now we get this jail. We in the jail. Drew goes over to the little I wrote little bitch, that one that Roman is fucking or whatever in the jail. He's like, he's asking him where Roman is, and the nigga's like, nigga, you trying to get us killed? And then Roman comes over. He got a gang of motherfuckers with him. And, you know, the guard that works for Carter and his task force, he comes over like, we got a problem. And Roman's like, nah, no problem. And then he tells Drew, oh, you gonna die up in here. So I'm thinking in my head, saying that, because seeing how connected Roman is and how much people he got behind him, I was like, it ain't gonna be easy to get to Roman like it was to get to Zay, Drew. That's what I was thinking. I was fucking wrong. But, you know, they only got a couple episodes left, so they gotta make this shit happen within these episodes, because it's about to go off. That's what I don't like. Like, they could have stretched this shit out a little longer, but I mean, Yeah, 50 Cent ain't Tyler Perry. And I mean, I appreciate that, so I ain't even mad at it. So Kane gets to Noma's place to find Davis, like, leaving. He could clearly see that they just smashed because Noma come out with a robe, all smiling and shit. So Kane tells Noma that Effie wants out the game, and Noma, she points out how many problems Kane has been bringing to her with no resolution. He hasn't been resolving anything. And she's like, how do I know if Effie isn't the one that tipped off the Carter's task force to the Russians or whatever the case may be? Kane's like, Effie's solid. She would never do that. And Noma's like, well, you and Effie need to figure out who Carter's informant is. And don't come back to me until you find out. So, Diana's in the house, still recovering, talking about killing Felicia. And Monet's like, don't worry about all that. I'm going to talk to Carter later. And Diana's like, I don't give a fuck what Carter says. I'm taking her out. This, then the third. And Monet's like, yeah, no question. Like, if Carter can't give Felicia up, then he gonna get buried next to her. Then we get this meeting with Monet and Carter. She telling Carter about what Felicia did. Carter, of course, has no idea. He's telling her he didn't give that order for Felicia to do anything. And he's also like you better not do shit to Felicia like that. I'm not giving you permission to do anything to her, or I'll lock your ass up. And I'm just like, well, Monet, what happened to all this? If Carter don't give her up, he gonna get buried next to her. Like, she folded so quick in that fucking scene. I get it. He got dirt on you and shit, and he can't lock you and your peoples up or whatever. But you folded so quick. She talking about we ain't doing nothing until Felicia, and he's like, what? I can come in your house and do this and do that. I'm just like, God damn. I mean, I get it. He got leverage over them, but it's just like Monet folded so quick. Like, this nigga killed your grandchild. This bitch killed your grandchild. I mean, but a part of me feels like Monet wasn't going to listen to that conversation they had. She probably didn't give a fuck. She probably was still going to do something with Felicia, but she was going to take her time probably. And Diana ain't want that. She don't give a fuck about no time. So Monet, she texts Diana. She's like, no, Carter was no help. And I'm like, what made you think he was just going to give you the okay to kill one of his agent? I mean, kill one of his detectives. I was just like, what made him? I don't know what made her think that. Like, but Diana's like, she ain't trying to hear none of that shit. Like I said, she on her own type time, and she want Felicia dead today. She don't want to. Oh, excuse me. She don't want to do no strategic shit where we got to plan this out and all that. No, because then that also gives the task force time to get their shit together. So, Drew calls Diana while he's still locked up, and Diana has to give him the news about Felicia and the baby and all that. And Drew's like, sorry. And he's like, he's apologizing. He's telling, Diana again is playing the blame game. Like, you wasn't here. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Either way, like, it's not Drew's fault neither. You should be blaming your mother of all people for real. Because she got y'all mixed up with Carter and this task force. Not fucking Drew. I mean, Drew was with Monet when they got ambushed by Carter's task force. But still, it's just like she blaming motherfuckers that are not the cause of what happened to her. So Drew's trying to tell her, don't do nothing. Tell Monet not to do nothing until I get out. And I promise you I'm going to take care of it. And Diana's like, nah, I'm going to take care of it. And hangs up on Drew. She's like, that bitch is mine. So Tariq, he goes to see his mother and tells her about tells her about Diana and what he plans to do to Felicia. Because I don't even think Tariq knows exactly what cop it is. Because Diana just said Tariq's dirty cop did this. And so I don't think Tariq knows which one it is, which cop it is. So this nigga Kane goes to Effie and tells her that Noma said if they can find out who Carter's informant is, she can get out the game. Noma, and I'm not even trying to defend Noma, but Noma never said that shit out of her mouth. All she said was, it's in you and Effie's best interest to find out who Carter's informant is and don't come back until you find it out. She never said, if Effie finds out who the informant is, I'll let her out. She never said that shit. So for Kane, I don't even know why Kane went to Effie and told her that. Got her hopes up and shit, and now they putting this plan together. She's telling him that you know, she needs a cop's laptop to get that information, to find out who is Carter's informant. And me, I'm like, even if they do get away, I mean, they got away with getting the cop's laptop or whatever the case may be, but I was like, even if they do, I'm pretty sure it ain't gonna be in the system. Monet's name ain't not gonna be in the system, because Monet's the one that told Carter about the Russians. So I was like, I'm pretty sure that's just not in the system. Like, cause like they met off the books. I don't think he put that shit in. It just, they a dirty task force. I was just like, that's a reach. They doing all this for a reach that might not even be in the system. So they go to Brayden. Brayden's in his dorm looking at the website. The website's down. Well, it's not down, but ain't nobody ordering shit no more, because the group probably was like, we ain't fucking with them no more. So they missing out on money. Kane and Effie storming, and Brayden's, you know, he's still not fucking with them after what they did with coming in his family house and the shit turning on Tariq and all that other shit. So he's still not fucking with them. He's like, if y'all want my help, he tells Effie, I want course corrector back. I want Stansfield. I want the Stansfield clients back or whatever. And Effie, without hesitation, just agrees, because she probably in her head like, well, if we pull this off, I'm gonna be out the game anyway. So why not let Brayden take over this shit? And that's why I'm saying, I don't know why the fuck Kane told her that. So Effie's like, yeah, you can have it all if you help us pull this off. And Kane's like, Brayden, answer when I call. So back with Tasha and Tariq. Tasha's basically making Tariq see things from Diana's perspective, and of course she's gonna be mad at everybody. She's just hurting right now, whatever the case may be. And Tariq's like, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, how am I supposed to help? And Tasha's like, well, I don't know, but I know. She's like, I don't got all the answers, but she's like, I know that killing a cop won't make things better, and you know, and whatever the Tejadas do, you can't let that come back on you or on our family, because then we'll never be together. And she's telling him, you know, you got to be smart. You got to be better than me and Ghost. And Tariq's like, I know, Ma. I know the promise I made to you. And this, that, and the third. So Carter, he confronts Felicia about Diana and asks her if she's using again. And Felicia's trying to brush it off. She's like, why should I care about a queen pin and her daughter? And Carter tells Felicia that Diana was pregnant. And she's like, did you know that? And Felicia's like, how the hell was I supposed to know that? And see, that's what I was talking about. See, the website that I watched it on is like a little black website, and they leave comments, and everybody was in the comments talking about something. That bitch did that to Diana knowing that she was pregnant. And I said, I don't think she knew Diana was pregnant, because that scene where they came and busted in the house and she was asking about the baby stuff. She said, oh, you got a kid? And Diana said no. And then she said, what, y'all got some nieces or nephews? Because what's all this baby stuff for? Diana and Monet never said anything. And then she took all the baby stuff and was like, thanks for donating to the holiday drive or some shit like that. So I was like, I don't think Felicia put it together. And then she's a cokehead. So I don't think she put two and two together that Diana could have been pregnant, or somebody could have been pregnant, or whatever the case may be. So I was like, I don't think Felicia knew she was pregnant. And then in this moment, Felicia's like, well, how the fuck was I supposed to know she was pregnant? She starts making excuses, and Carter's like, you justifying it? But then she tells Carter that she told Diana to kill Zion. And Carter's like, well, I told you to do that. And Felicia's like, well, you know, I had this. She tells them about her meeting with IAB and how she told Diana to do it, who turned around and had Tariq do it instead. And Carter's like, how do you know that Tariq did it? And Felicia shows Carter the footage of Tariq killing Zion in the safe house. She tells him that it's deleted from the server, and then the copy that he's watching is the only copy that's in existence. And Carter's like, you fucked up. And he's like, did Diana tell Tariq about us? And Felicia's like, well, she said she didn't. That's the whole reason she beat up Diana, because she think that Diana told Tariq. So, and that's another reason why they didn't put it together. Like, obviously she told him because she's pregnant, and she knew he would do it because he don't want her doing shit like that being pregnant. But they didn't know that. So Felicia tells Carter what she said. Diana said she didn't tell Tariq. So Carter's like, well, I'm going to hold on to this footage. He tells Felicia to go home and don't tell nobody else. Don't tell Nico. Don't tell nobody else about this. So he gets out the car. Felicia pulls off, and then they show Diana following her. So Kane and Effie, they in the car with Braden, telling them about their plan to break into this, well, not even break into, but like to go in this cop's house, steal his information off his laptop and whatnot. And so they at the cops' front door, and Effie and a fake beat up Braden, they explaining to the cop's wife that they was in this, they make up some fake carjacking scheme, some fake carjacking story to his wife, and the wife's hesitant at first about letting them in, and then Braden starts fake lightheaded, and then she lets them in, and she's offering to call her husband, and they're like, no, we already called the cops, they should be on their way. She notices the blood on Effie. Effie's like, can I use the bathroom? Effie goes to the bathroom, and she turns on the water in the bathroom, closes the bathroom door, then she goes to search for the laptop. And me, honestly, I was thinking the laptop wasn't even going to be there. Because I'm like, what if... Because Braden says that in the car. I think he's like, what if the cop has his laptop with him? And I'm just like, wow, yeah, why would he have his laptop at home if he's not home? So I thought it wasn't going to be there. But Effie, she finds the laptop. And she begins to, download everything, all the contents to a flash drive. And meanwhile, the wife's out there, the cop's wife out there cleaning up Braden. She asks some type of question. She realizes that what Braden's saying isn't lining up with what Effie said. And she's like, well, let me go check on Effie. She goes and she gets to knocking on the bathroom door, and then Effie hears it while she's still downloading from the laptop. She texts Kane telling them now. She texts the words now to Kane. He comes and knocks on the door pretending to be a cop. He comes and gets Effie and Braden up out of there. The wife is none the wiser. I'm just like, they better hope the motherfucker ain't had no cameras or some shit. They gonna have y'all whole little scheme on camera. So Carter has Nico with him, and they about to do a bust on this little spot where Carter claims the Russian that killed Kamal is hiding out at. So they bust in there, and the Russian, he got this little hooker, so Carter has Nico take the hooker out while he chases after the Russian dude. He catches the dude, and he catches the dude trying to leave out the window. And he shoots the Russian dude point blank in the head. Then he grabs the gun that he killed Kamal with, shoots it at the door across the room, basically trying to set the scene up like the dude shot at him first. Then he takes the gun and puts it in the dead Russian's hand. Nico comes in right after. He's like, you sure this the dude that killed Kamal? And Carter's like, yeah, man, this is him. He's like, you call forensics, let's get the ballistics on that gun. It should be the same gun that killed Kamal, or whatever the case may be. And Nico's kind of looking at Carter in a weird way, and I'm feeling like that's the moment he probably realized that Carter was the one that killed Kamal, or he knows something about it. But I'm like, he did it to protect your nut ass. Kamal caught your stupid ass doing dirty shit. Not saying it's right, but... So the guard at the prison that works for Carter and his task force, he leaves a little note in Drew's cell, telling him where Roman's cell is. He opens Drew's cell door and Roman's, and Drew sneaks up in there and catches Roman off guard and strangles him to death. Then he stages it to make it look like it's a suicide. I don't know why. I guess. So then, Diana, she pops up in Felicia's house with the gun pointed to her. Felicia gets to jump on Diana. I knew that shit was going to happen because I was like, why didn't you just shoot off Bucks? You let her do too much talking, and then you got close to her, started talking about your baby, getting emotional. I knew she was going to end up getting the jump on Diana. I'm like, she's a fucking cop. You got to be careful, dumbass. So she gets to jump on Diana. They begin to tussle or whatever. Then Diana gets the upper hand and beats Felicia's head in with a skillet. And then she notices kids' toys in the hall. So she's like, oh, shit. So then we get this scene where Davis calls Tariq, and Tariq seems to be more calm and level-headed after having a conversation with his mother. And he's like, I don't need the cops' addresses anymore. And then next thing you know, Diana calls, and Tariq tries to start apologizing, and Diana, she just cuts him off. She's like, I need you to come to me now. So for Rashad and Carter, they stand over the dead Russian, and Carter's telling Rashad, this is the man that killed Kamal, the ballistics match, the gun, all that, whatever the case. And Carter gets a text from Nico saying that Roman's been handled and that they need to talk about Diana. So I'm assuming when Drew got out, he must have said something to Nico about Diana because, Nico had no idea. So Rashad, he spits on the dead body. He's like, I wish I could have killed this motherfucker myself. And he's like, he offers up any resources he can give to Carter and his task force, whatever the case may be. So now we at Kane's penthouse, and Effie, she finds evidence that Carter's task force is dirty. She's like, they didn't log in all the shit they took from the Russian raid because I left some money there, and whatever the case may be. So, she gets to showing Kane the files of all of Carter's task force members. He sees Felicia's, and he recognizes the name. He starts putting two and two together. He's like, let me go take this to Noma ASAP. She gonna want to see this. So then Effie, thinking that she out the game, or thinking that she almost out the game, or whatever the case she might be thinking, she's like, thank you. You did this without what's the word? Without wanting nothing in return. And she's like, I can stay until you get back. And like basically trying to give up some ass. And he kisses her on the forehead. And as he gets on the elevator, he calls Monet. He's like, I know you ain't mixed up in Carter and his bullshit. Because the bitch Felicia, she the one that did this to Diana. So, of course, he put that two and two together. And then Monet, she gets home looking for Diana. Finds her safe open. And I'm just like, damn, Diana, you left the safe open? It's like you wanted her to find out that you went and did shit on your own. It was just like, damn, you had the shit, leaving the damn safe open. So Drew finally gets out of the jail, and he's trying to, talk terms with Carter. And the Carter, of course, is like, nigga, you ain't in no position to negotiate for anything. And I'm just like, that's like I said, I don't know what Drew thought. Like, you just killed the nigga that could take them down. If I was him, I would have left Roman ass alive. I wouldn't even have told them about Roman. You went in there to kill Zay, your job was done. I would have let them take me out. I would have let them get me out of jail, and I would have let Roman take their ass down. That would have been a problem solved. Y'all wouldn't even have had nothing to do with that shit. It ain't like you would have known that Roman was in there planning on snitching on them. I would have let Roman take their ass down. Then there would have been less problems for y'all. But yeah, he tells Drew, like, nigga, you ain't in no position to negotiate. So Drew starts getting endless text messages because he was locked up. Missed calls and text messages from Monet. And in the last text, it says, Diana went to go take care of Felicia herself. I need you to call me or meet me or some shit. So Tariq gets to Felicia's house, and Diana's showing him Felicia's son who's upstairs asleep. And, they go downstairs, and Tariq suggests that they just clean up the scene, make it seem like Felicia never even came home. The son still asleep, so he'd be none the wiser. Then he wakes up. He's at the top of the steps. He's asking for his mother. And Diana's like, oh, we're mommy's friends, officer. They make up some names. They're like, she wants us to babysit. I'm going to come up there and read you a bedtime story, but get back to bed. And I'm just like, well, now he done seen y'all faces, so this shit is going to get crazier. I mean, mind you, it was dark, and he was at the top of the steps. They was at the bottom of the steps, but still, he's seeing y'all faces. Well, no, he definitely seen your face now. You went up there and read him a bedtime story, and Tariq standing in the doorway and shit. So, Kane takes the information to Noma that Effie found, and she's like, I still want to know who. This is not telling me who Carter's informant is. And Kane's like, well, I'm gonna find that out. And Noma's like, well, in the meantime, Effie will still be working with the Russians. And like I said, she never said that she was gonna let Effie out if they got that information, even though they didn't get it. She never said that. So I was just like, now you got to go back and tell Effie that she's still in this shit, and she's going to have another meeting with the Russians. Which probably not going to go good for her. Because the Russians probably thinking Noma set him up or something. So I'm just like, I would have never told her that. So Kane, he asked Noma to marry him. He's like, I know you wasn't marrying Mecca for love. You was marrying him for U.S. citizenship. And he's like, I don't care what you do as long as you don't take what I've built since I've been with you, whatever the case may be. And he's like, and you can have Davis draw up whatever paper to secure your assets, and I'll sign it. So Noma walks up to him all seductive, like, is that all you want? Just business? And Kane's like, man, no more of this employee shit. I want to be partners. So then Noma kisses him and grabs him to go assumingly smash, of course, to go smash. And I'm just like, damn, Noma, 2 in 1 day. You just fucked Davis earlier. Now you fucking Kane later on that night. But anyway, so Effie, she's at the penthouse waiting for Kane. She texts him, like, you on your way back? He don't text back, so she ends up leaving, gets a call from her mom and declines it. They put some emphasis on that, so I just felt like I'd bring that up. What's up with her mother calling her declining? She ain't fucking with her parents. I don't even remember that much about Effie's parents. So we get this final scene at Felicia's house. Like I said, Diana and Tariq done got closer to the little boy for him to see their faces. Diana done read him a bedtime story. He done fell back asleep. Tariq standing in the doorway looking angry as fuck. I thought he was about to kill the little nigga. He was looking like angry. But I'm thinking he probably was just angry that he won't have that chance now because this bitch killed his child. So he looking like her child get to live or whatever. I thought he was about to kill him the way he was looking at the little boy. So they go back downstairs, and this is when Tariq tells Diana about him killing Ray Ray, you know, the cop that killed Raina, his sister, and talking about how, you know, it didn't make things feel better for him. It didn't make things better for him at all, and how Diana may never feel better after what she did. So then Monet comes in, and they tell her, you know, she had a son, he's upstairs, and Monet tells Diana, you just leave and let me handle it. So then Drew comes in, and they thinking it's cool. Then Drew comes in, then Carter comes in, pointing guns at all of their ass. And Drew's like, I brung him. And I was immediately thinking, okay, you got Carter in this room full of motherfuckers that's against him. So I'm thinking, okay, they about to I was like, I don't know what they about to do in this. Excuse me. I was like, I don't know what they about to do in this moment, but I thought they was about to set it up to make it seem like Carter killed Felicia, and then they was gonna kill Carter. I think I got the hiccups. So they set it up to make it seem like Carter... I thought they was about to set it up to make it seem like Carter killed Felicia, and then I thought they was going to kill Carter. And I was like, okay, problem solved, even though you still got Nico out there. But it didn't happen that way. So, I was pissed off by this scene. I'm not even going to lie. So Carter's like, where's Felicia's son? And Diana's like, he's fine. He's upstairs sleeping. So, you know, Carter, he begins going off on them. He's like, I told y'all asses, told you Monet not to do nothing to Felicia, this, that, and the third. And then he talks about how, what did he say? He's like, yeah, if it wasn't for Drew, I would put a bullet in all y'all asses, or whatever the case may be. And then he's like, and Drew told me about Noma. You tried to lie and say it was the Russians, and now I know it's about Noma or whatever. So he basically tells them, like, y'all gonna help me take Noma down, or I'm gonna make Felicia's death look like an accident. And I'm just like, I can't believe Drew did that shit. Like, he reneged on y'all fucking agreement when you got out of jail. Like, I don't know why he thought that Carter and them was gonna leave his mother and sister alone anyway. He probably would have had better chances just telling them to leave Diana alone and not Monet. But he was like, leave my mother and daughter alone. That's not gonna happen. Like, he feel like he can use them, so he gonna keep using them. I was just like, I don't know what Drew, he should have thought of a better negotiation before he got out. Because I was just like, he's not gonna agree with none of that shit. I was like, Carter not gonna agree with none of that shit. He's a dirty cop. You can't trust the nigga. So, that's how the episode ends. He tells them, yeah, y'all gonna help me take Noma down. I'm gonna make Felicia's death look like an accident. But y'all, like, I own y'all now. And as they leave, and he stops Tariq, he's like, welcome to the team, nigga. And Tariq turns and looks at him like and I'm like, before this show ends, Tariq gonna kill that nigga. Tariq's gonna kill that nigga. He don't like that shit. Like Zion said, Carter own y'all now. And what's his name? Tariq was like, don't nobody own me, nigga. But now you realizing he owned you for a little while. And Tariq still don't even know about that video of him killing Zion. He don't even know Carter got that shit yet. But that's how the episode ends. And like I said, I would put it in between a B- and a C+. It was a good episode. It wasn't great though. Like I said, I believe Tariq's gonna kill Carter ass before this show ends. Is he gonna work against Noma after he just got back? He just made an agreement with her. I don't think so. I think he gonna go to Noma and tell her what the fuck's going on. Especially since Noma got this information on Carter and his task force now. Don't nobody know about him killing Kamal. So that's kind of like, damn, I wish somebody knew. I feel like Nico knows, but of course he ain't gonna say nothing because he got his man's back. I don't know. Where does this leave Drew now? I'm kind of disappointed in Drew because y'all had an opportunity in that moment to take Carter down because it was all y'all against him in there. And Drew, you just let Carter take over. I just didn't like that shit. I was irritated by that. So what's gonna happen now that they don't have they plug with that singing group no more, and Brayden supposedly has course correct back? We shall see, because Effie's not out the game. I don't know why Kane told her that. You're not out the game, and then you fucking Noma, and you talking about getting married to her. Effie probably gonna be like, what the fuck? It's just a whole debacle of situations, like, and we only got 3 episodes left. It's just like, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But I guarantee you, Carter or Noma or both gonna die by the end of this show. I don't even care if Drew died now because I'm just irritated about what he did. They betrayed you. They did what they did to your sister. They did all this shit to your family, and you just still doing this shit. I don't know. Hopefully Drew got some other agenda, but I don't know what the fuck it could have been if they didn't do it in that Felicia house in this last scene. So I don't know. It is what it is, but those are my little thoughts, what have yous for episodes to come. Like I said, I would put it in between a B- and a C+. Thanks for watching this review. Comment below what you would grade it, what you thought of it. If I forgot to talk about something in particular, let me know. Like and subscribe. I need 100 million subscribers, but I will settle for 300 right now. I keep saying that, but I need 300 subscribers, and then 400, then 500, and just let it keep going up and going up. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment below. Thanks for watching. See y'all in the next review. Peace.